first of all, what in the world am I doing here? Who am I? I'm Tammy Hart. I'm from Birmingham. I'm the local WordPress aficionado in the Birmingham area, and I used to freelance full time. I did that for about 6 years, and then here a couple months ago, so it's a full time job. And so right now I'm working at a brand agency called Be a Lot Further, and you can check me out on Twitter and my email if you need any help. I love to help people, especially as best as I can. Tips, advice, whatever. You can look at my portfolio at Tammy Hart Designs. Enough about me. So let's just jump right into it. What is a post type? First of all, the first thing you should understand about post types is that some people kind of will start to confuse them and say, because everybody knows the difference between posts and pages. I mean, pretty much everybody has an understanding that there's a post and a page on a default install of WordPress. So don't make the assumption that post types has anything to do with just posts. They should technically be called content types. A lot of people have said that. Even Mark Jaquith has, one of the articles that I reference here, that's how he starts. These should be called content types, not post types, because it's basically a type of how WordPress is handling your content. So just to give an overview of how it works with the WordPress system, of course, WordPress is a database that ties it into the front end. All your information goes into the database. So your content is stored in a table called WP_post, and then each post is assigned a post type. And then, of course, your queries, whenever you query through the default loop or your custom queries out front, you're going to get those posts from the post table. And the default query is post. The default post type is post for just a get post or a query post function. But now we're going to, before you had post types, you would, let's just go to the next slide first. I said go to the next slide. I said go there. Okay. So your default types that are built in are obviously a post, which is basically a blog style content, which was the original intention of WordPress. And then later they added pages, which is more like for static content. They're hierarchical, and so that you can make a parent-child relationship between pages, which is great for organizing your content and creating submenus and all kinds of nifty things. And then other post types that are lesser known are not, that aren't, in the forefront like posts and pages that are built in are attachments. And if you were, I don't know, did anybody come from the images presentation upstairs? Okay, so he talked about attaching images, and basically what that means is that an image gets stored in the post table, or anything you upload and attach to a post, like a PDF or document. Anything you upload gets put into the post table, and the post type that is assigned to it is attachment. And then, since it's attached to a post or a page, that post or page becomes its parent. So just like when you make a page and you set it to be a child of another page, so that they're related in that way, which lets you do things like query all child pages of this page, things like that. You can do the same thing with images. You can query all the children of this post and output them in a custom query if you want to get all your images or all your documents, in a template. And then, of course, you have revisions, which are just archives of, whenever you save drafts and have revisions of a post, you go in and you edit it. You can revert back to your old revisions. That's stored as a post type. Which is kind of cool, because if you ever want to do a SQL query that said delete all post types that are revisions, you could. Nav menu item. The menu system is actually using post items and taxonomies, posts and taxonomies to run the menu system, which I think was pretty ingenious. If you've ever been to any other WordCamps or been in any type of discussions with Matt Mullenweg, he's always pushing it, saying, you should use the post table, you should use the post table, all content should be stored in the post table. So I think that was kind of cool that they set it up that way. And of course, some custom types that you could do are, say, for instance, like employees. If you're building a brochure site and you want to list the employees, you can store them as a custom post type. Products, that would be great. It's great for e-commerce and things like that. And basically, any content that you want to store or use in a special way on your site, other than your typical blogging and your typical static static page information. So before, you may have created maybe an employees category for your post, and then maybe like excluded all employee posts from all the main feeds and things like that, so that you can exclude just that category and output them in certain places in your site. This is the current way I do on my website. This is the current way I run my portfolio. All my portfolio entries are actually blog posts that are in the portfolio category. Now, I'm totally rebuilding that and starting fresh with custom post types, but as everybody knows, the cobbler's children usually has no shoes. So it's sitting on backlog right now. And another thing to mention about custom post types is that they do not show up in your main RSS feed. So your main RSS feed is dedicated to just your blog posts. Even pages don't show up. I believe that there's plugins that will force pages into your RSS feed if you want to. Okay, so just a little, this is a new slide for this presentation. What isn't a post type? There's a new thing that you may have heard about called post formats. Anybody heard of the post formats? No, really? Nobody's heard? Okay, wow. Okay, so it's a new feature coming in WordPress 3.1. Who has a Tumblr blog? Okay, I have a Tumblr. I love my Tumblr. It lets me just throw stuff into it that I don't want to spend a lot of time on, and automatically sends to my Facebook, Twitter, things like that. I don't do any major blogging on Tumblr, but it's really cool because if I want to put in a quote, if I want to put in a video, an image, it lets me choose what kind of content I'm about to publish, and it gives me a different format of inserting that. So that's what post formats. That's kind of a good example of what post formats are. They are a post type. So they're a post type. Let me say it right. They are still posts. They are still blog posts. They are still treated that way. They will show up in your main RSS feed, but it's just identifying what kind of content it is. So previously you may have had like a category, like all videos went to a video category, or all links went to a link category, and you may have separated them out that way to make them look different, treat them different, have a different kind of feed for them. So what this is going to do is basically add in a new little toolbar, drop down somewhere that will let you say this is a video post, this is a link, and then you can edit your template to say if it's a link, there's no need to output the title, just output the link, the URL, and whatever, or just whatever, however you want to format. If it's an aside, if it's just a small little quote text that I want to put up there, there's no reason to add the title or how many comments, just whatever. You can format it in a different way.
I think they're trying to put me out of a job from late.
Uh-oh.
That's basically the custom page templates for posts, basically. Is that what that is?
Kind of.
Okay.
There's some great, the next slide has some resources to read more about it. It'll let you, it's basically, the only purpose for it is for the way that it looks on the front end and behaves on the front end of the site. But I wanted to bring it up because everybody's like, well, isn't that what a custom post type is? Wouldn't I just create a video post type? Well, no, because then your videos are not going to be in your main blog feed. They're just not going to show up. They're going to be completely unrelated to your blog post. So if you want a video post, use your post format for video or aside or gallery or whatever. They are post types, not custom post types. So custom post types is for custom content. content you want to handle in a way that's not original or not built into the vanilla install of WordPress. Okay, so here's another good way to approach it of what a post type is. Have you ever used another content management system like Drupal or Joomla or Expression Engine? Anything besides WordPress? Okay. Have you ever used? Who's here has used Expression Engine? Okay. Drupal? Okay. I hate Drupal.
You should talk to me.
You just need to drink more Kool-Aid.
Yes. For real. No, we used Drupal at the last place I worked, and I really hated it. I was coming from a WordPress-only environment, and it was like, I just hated it. Why do you hate it? It was so complicated. I didn't spend any time on any code. Everything was just like point and click and drag and stuff around. I just didn't like that. I like to code. So,
no, that's for Drupal engineers.
The reason why I bring, we use Expression Engine at my new place, and I'm kind of taking a liking to it, even though it's not as much custom programming. I still get to code the templates. The output's all custom. But the reason why I bring that up is because Drupal and Expression Engine, and I've never used Joomla, but things like that, other content management systems that were originally built with the intent of being a content management system, don't come with these default post types, content types. They don't come with posts, they don't come with pages. You have to tell the system what kind of content you want to publish. You have to tell it, we're going to have a video section, we're going to have an employees section, we're going to have an articles, we're going to have a news. You have to create the content types from scratch. So basically what they've done by refreshing the way post types are done, making it easier to make custom post types, is they've officially unlocked the CMS badge. WordPress is officially a viable CMS, not just because we've made it into one, but it really is. It's a content management system. This is stupid. It's not Bluetooth, that's why it's stupid. So I have to point it. Forget it. Okay. Okay, and here's some more links. I used bit.ly links to make it easier if you want to type them down. These slides will be on my SlideShare account. If you go there, don't peek at my next session yet. It's slideshare.net/Tammy Hart. So the slides are already there, but if you want to type this out real quick. This is a great information. Obviously, the codex is going to have good info, but it's not as human as the other articles. It's more technical, so I seriously suggest going to Mark Jaquith is a really good short post about it. Obviously, Syed, who's speaking in the intermediate track right now upstairs, his WP Beginner site has a great article on it. And Otto, he was here. He didn't stay in here. He saw this presentation when he was in Birmingham. But Otto, he's written a great explanation about it as well. Oops. Okay, read my lips. Now new taxonomies. Now, you've been able to create custom taxonomies for a while, but they didn't really become very popular to do, or as popular, as well known, until post types started getting more attention. So what is a taxonomy? Basically, to put it simply, taxonomies are your categories and your tags. Those are your default taxonomies that come with WordPress. So a taxonomy is the type of information, of term that you're storing, and a term is the actual term that you're using, assigning to a post, a page, or custom post type. And they're stored in, okay, this is real fun because around version 2.7, I think, they redid everything on taxonomies. It broke a lot of plugins, and everybody was really mad for a while, but it was for the better because this is a really great system. So you have several tables. If you ever look at your MySQL database for a WordPress install, you have the term taxonomy table, which actually, let's see. Okay, so you have the terms table, which is where all the terms are listed. So if you have a dog category, if you have a plant category, if you have a Ford Mustang category, whatever your tags are in your categories, they're all going into the terms table. The terms table then points towards the term taxonomy table, which is where a term is assigned a taxonomy. So that is where it says Ford Mustang is a tag, puppy is a category, you know, that